The alpaca in front of us was about to have its teeth cut because it was too aggressive. In order to protect other alpacas of the same species, every male alpaca on the farm had to undergo this process. In addition to their rude spitting habits, alpacas, known as the exterminators of the camelid family, appear gentle and cute, but their seemingly gentle demeanor hides a dark heart. In order to completely eliminate their rivals, their approach is to deprive the male of their own species of the ability to reproduce. When the workers cut their teeth, they forcefully pry open the alpaca's mouth and insert a grinding tool. After a deafening grinding sound, the alpaca's teeth were cut in half. This showed that the alpaca only had lower incisors, with a bone plate in the upper jaw. Overgrown lower incisors sometimes turn them into makeshift barefoot doctors, performing impromptu cosmetic surgery on their companions or slowing their eating rate to lose weight, a big no-no in alpaca farming. Thus, workers are compelled to trim their teeth annually, whether by grinding tools, manual grinding, or even scissors. The process itself isn't important. The key is that it's for their benefit. As animals valued at tens of thousands of dollars, alpacas are fortunate. In farms and ranches, most people are captivated by their beauty or their fleece, rarely targeting their flesh. In breeding farms, the responsibility of producing high-quality alpacas often falls on the male alpacas. Female alpacas are seen as reusable production tools. As long as they can give birth, they suffice. Male alpacas aiming to become breeding studs must go through arduous trials. From a human perspective, the selection process for breeding studs rivals the rigor of a royal harem selection. Candidates must not only have dense fur and good looks, but also boast a spotless lineage up to 3 generations back. Alpacas come in 22 colors, ranging from black to white, yellow to brown. Even 2 alpacas of the same color can produce offspring of varying shades. To control the colors, workers must investigate the lineage of breeding alpacas up to 3 generations. Those who pass the preliminary selection undergo rigorous physical examinations. Workers measure the alpaca's shoulder height, body length, and waist circumference, pry open their mouths to inspect their teeth, and record their fur length and color. They even examine the alpaca's eyes, not out of concern for arrogance but to check for corneal diseases. Adult male alpacas selected for breeding typically weigh between 55 to 65 kilograms. Height, 80 to 100 centimeters. Body length, 1.2 to 2 meters. If any of these measurements do not meet the standard, the alpaca gets disqualified in this round. The final round tests their real abilities. Workers use a tape measure and a simple method to assess their capability. Of course, the most important part is also inspected, but let's not elaborate on that here. The role of a breeding male alpaca comes with its own expectations. As a social animal, wild male alpacas typically manage a harem of 5 to 10 females. On farms, this number is often even higher. Stopping midway is strictly forbidden. Once the alpaca passes all the aforementioned tests, workers still examine their temperament. For fleece alpacas, personality requirements are slightly lower. However, for pet alpacas, stable temperament is crucial. Nobody wants a temperamental, spit-happy pet. This is essentially a grand matchmaking event for alpacas. Although the atmosphere may seem peaceful, it's entirely arranged and devoid of emotion. In smaller farms, lucky female alpacas might have the right to choose their mates. Workers leave the male alpacas for one-on-one introductions. If a female doesn't like the male, she turns and runs. If she does, she lies down, ready for mating. In larger breeding farms, to enhance efficiency and control quality, workers don't have time for such elaborate procedures. Male alpacas are less picky, making them easier to manage. However, getting female alpacas to comply requires some effort. Workers tie a rope around the female alpaca's waist and bind her legs to immobilize her, forcing her into a crouched position. Once everything is set, the male alpaca makes his grand entrance. Before the workers even give the signal, the males excitedly lie down and start mating, oblivious to the audience. As the saying goes, haste makes waste. Many inexperienced males require on-the-spot guidance during the process. After about 40 minutes, the session concludes. The workers record the details of each newlywed pair and mark the female alpacas with a blue stripe to indicate they have been mated. 1 week to half a month after mating, workers check the pregnancy status of the female alpacas. Traditional methods are straightforward and crude. They reunite the female with the male. If she refuses to lie down, she is likely pregnant. Otherwise, the pair mates again. Compared to traditional methods, modern techniques are more efficient and reliable. In the days that follow, pregnant alpacas receive upgraded meals. Besides their daily grass feed, they are also given high-protein nutritional supplements. Their diet directly impacts the health of the baby alpaca growing inside them. Alpacas are the smallest members of the camel family. Although small in size, alpacas have a relatively long gestation period, typically lasting 11.5 months. Female alpacas reach sexual maturity at about 1 year of age. For their physical and mental health, workers wait until they are around 15 months old before allowing them to start breeding. As single-birth animals, healthy female alpacas can give birth to 15 or 16 offspring in their lifetime, with a lifespan of about 20 years. While the idea of continuously giving birth may seem inhumane, alpacas are actually far luckier than many other livestock. At least in their youth, they don't face life-threatening risks. Additionally, captive alpacas live significantly longer than their wild counterparts. In the wild, it is rare for an alpaca to live past 10 years. Unlike many animals that have fixed breeding seasons, female alpacas can breed year-round. To ensure better survival rates for newborn alpacas, workers try to control their birth timing, avoiding winter births. In the high-altitude Andes Mountains, the alpaca's native habitat, winter temperatures can drop to -20 to 30 degrees Celsius. In such harsh conditions, without special care, most newborn alpacas wouldn't survive their first month. Spring and summer are peak birthing seasons for alpacas. When a heavily pregnant female becomes restless and frequently lies down, it's a sign that labor is imminent. If our observation is correct, this female alpaca is about to give birth. The impatient little one inside her belly keeps moving, trying to find an exit to breathe fresh air. A few minutes later, a pair of slender legs emerges, as the baby tries to pull itself out completely. Shortly after, the little head appears, and its first instinct is to open its mouth to take a breath of fresh air. After more than an hour of effort, the newborn alpaca finally leaves the mother's body and lands on the ground. Perhaps this is a first-time mother, as she seems unfamiliar with the little one that has just dropped from her body. Instead of immediately cleaning the baby, she first checks to make sure it is indeed her offspring. While alpacas do exhibit maternal love, it is relatively limited. In the wild, for a newborn alpaca to survive, it must stand up within half a day and nurse for the first time using its own strength. In breeding farms, however, newborn alpacas have additional protection. Even if their parents are indifferent, workers or caretakers step in to ensure their well-being. At this point, the mother alpaca has completed half of her yearly task. In the days that follow, she rests for 30 days before resuming production. Besides the major task of reproduction, summer brings another significant event for alpacas: shedding their luxurious fleece. This is one of the most durable and warm types of hair in the world. With a single cut, a fleece worth $40 to $50 can be harvested. The alpaca's coat is much thicker than expected, with a blanket of about 10 centimeters that is almost entirely moisture-free. When the weather warms up, workers choose a sunny day to shear the alpacas. Alpacas can be categorized by their hair type: straight-haired alpacas and curly-haired alpacas. The adorable and goofy pet alpacas typically belong to the latter group. Before shearing, workers must first remove resin, grass roots, and other debris stuck in the alpaca's coat. Then, they take a sample of the fleece for measurement. Once the fleece length is determined, the alpaca is sent to the shearing area, where its limbs are tied to keep it stable. To prevent the alpacas from using their teeth or spitting during the shearing process, the procedure usually requires 2 workers, one to shear and the other to calm the alpaca. When everything is ready, the shearing begins. The process starts with removing the fleece from sensitive areas, like the underbelly. As the saying goes, toothbrushes and underwear shouldn't be shared. Similarly, fleece from these areas must be separated and stored immediately. Then the shears move from the belly upwards, peeling off the entire fleece in one go, ensuring it remains clean and intact for easier sorting. On average, an adult alpaca produces 3 to 5 kilograms of fleece per year. High-quality alpaca fleece can sell for over $300 per pound, making it a lucrative source of income for farmers. Apart from their high market value, alpacas are relatively trouble-free animals. They eat only 2 to 3 pounds of grass per day, plus some nutritional supplements, costing just a few USD daily to raise. Moreover, alpacas are environmentally friendly. Unlike sheep, which can decimate grasslands, alpaca's unique mouth structure prevents them from uprooting grass, leaving pastures with a chance to regenerate. Additionally, their padded feet don't flatten nor damage the grasslands. Workers grade the fleece into 4 categories based on fiber fineness, then bag and send it to processing plants. After washing and refining, The fleece is turned into yarn, dyed, and eventually woven into colorful garments. As a premium material, alpaca fleece may not be as soft as wool, but its hollow fibers provide excellent warmth, durability, and resistance to wear and tear. Sweaters made from alpaca fleece don't shrink or pill, offering a much longer lifespan. Thank you for watching. See you next time.